We ask your guidance, your counsel, and your patience as we face today's challenges. We ask you to look out over our students and Levy County, protect them, and guide them to better serve you in the future, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Asbell. Mr. Superintendent or Mrs. Hogan, is there any changes to the agenda?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, with no changes, I need a motion to adopt the agenda for this morning, please.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda.
A second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda passes. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Everybody looks pretty awake so far. And I'll turn it over. We'll move down to item 5. And Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So today, as we wrap up CTE month, excited to have Miss Myrick here. And these ladies and gentlemen here. From the HOSA program. So Miss Myrick, would you like to come up here and share with us and introduce who you have here with you?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having us. We appreciate it. My name is Leah Myrick from the CMHS Health Academy. These are my students. Guys, come on in. Get up here, too. We're going to be presenting today. So I'm going to introduce them as they come up. This is Tori Fisher. Haley Davis, I'm sorry. Devin, Tabitha, I'm just not going to say the whole name. Sorry, guys. Dorothy, Jaquanda, Kamor, Zaya, Nydia, and Michael. So these are my seniors. Guys, if maybe you guys can line up on that side too, but like beyond the camera, and then this side, just kind of come back a little bit. Of course, they can see the presentation in there too. So these are our seniors, minus one. And so we're very happy to be here today. Thank you guys so much. As you can see, I am a BSN and instructor. This is my dream job. I've been a nurse for about 20 years, a little over, and I've done a wide range of things. I've worked in critical care, all the way from that to nursing home, home care, a little bit of everything, and teaching is truly my passion. So these guys have had me since not this past October, the October before. So they had me for their junior year and obviously for their senior year so far. And they've done great. I'm very proud of them. I'll kind of give you a little recap because they just tested Thursday and Friday as we go through the presentation. So next page, please. So what are we about? Our Health Academy, whenever I came in, I just want to say how great of a job that Alice Graham and Kelly Beecham did. My predecessors, they definitely, there was always already a well-established Health Academy. Everything was there whenever I got there. But my goal is to obviously take it into the future and grow it. So let's start with our values. We value the things that you want to see as a community in healthcare professionals: integrity, honesty, caring, compassion, hardworking, positive attitude. These are things that we encompass every day as we go through our classwork from 9th grade through seniors. And why do we do this? Well, our goal is to provide a highly effective education and experiences to any student interested in the healthcare profession, and to create and promote quality healthcare professionals and retention in and around our local communities. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to do that through hard work and expansion while remaining ethical and positive with that caring, compassionate attitude. Notice that our goal includes any student interested in the healthcare profession. I've worked with a wide range of healthcare professionals, and I am very, again, passionate about teaching and education. I want to make sure anyone who is any student that's interested in caring for others even if it's to remain at a CNA level, can do that, and they're empowered to do that. And so, you know, we want to incorporate any level of education into our health academy so that, you know, a lot of times, honestly, and you'll hear this even from colleges, it's a C average student that makes the best nurses, because they're the ones who have that caring, compassionate attitude and kind of those street smarts more than book smarts, and it really, you know, they're able to apply that to their everyday job. Next slide, please. So this year, again, I started October of, not this past year, the year before. So last year, I was really just getting my feet wet. I came in after the first semester, and so, you know, things were topsy-turvy. I saw, again, my predecessors did such a great job, but I saw a lot of potential in our health academy, and so I was like, you know, especially coming in from the outside in, I was like, I want to do something else. You know, I want to do more, because this academy just has such great potential. So as we celebrate our 20th year of the Health Academy, because it was started in 2002 by Alice Graham, 2022 marked our first year of initiating HOSA into middle school. So this year was our pilot year. We actually opened HOSA up to 8th graders. We had 10 8th graders that we took to a regional competition. That's us there in Ocala. And we actually had 8 of those 10 that's going to state. They either placed first, second, or third. So that was really good. Next slide, please. We also started this school year out with a new outlook on the CNA program. Again, you know, we kind of want to do more. So we added an advanced timeline this year, allowing our students to move quickly through the coursework, clinical rotations, and testing. So all of these guys that you see here, plus one more that wasn't able to make it today, they actually tested last Thursday and Friday. With all of them pass their written tests. Not everybody passed their clinical, but if you guys know anything about the CNA clinical testing, it's very difficult. And if you miss one thing, one little thing, it could fail you. And so the guys that didn't quite make it through, they are already planning on retaking that test. So our goal obviously is 100% pass rate by the end of the year. And then now we're going to be moving on to EKG technician. So that's new this year. We're going to, you know, whenever they graduate, you know, we want them to have more to offer, and as a entry-level professional. And so that's why we're moving on to EKG tech next. Next slide, please. We also took a record number of students to our HOSA secondary regional competition that was held Saturday, January 24th. It was so miserable that day, guys. They could not go outside. Like, it was cold, it was rainy, like literally the whole day, because we were there all day. They took a Saturday, you know, which obviously, you know, as a student, you prize those weekends. So they took a Saturday to be kind of in a miserable place. But they represented Chiefland and Levy so well. They really set the standard behaviorally. There were no issues. Nobody was out of line. They just, because it's in the middle of nowhere, if you guys have ever been to Dixie County High School, there's no signal. They weren't just all on their phones all day. That's not what was happening. So, you know, they were playing cards, they were playing board games, they were participating, and they did such a good job. And then, again, we have 8 students that placed first through third, and they're going to state. Next slide, please. So I told you a lot about HOSA, you know, what's going on that's new, that type of thing. But what do we do in class? What's like a day-to-day, what do we do? And so you notice I put up there learning and serving. Healthcare is a servant position. It is a servant profession. We serve others. And so we start that in our program in ninth grade. We have this annual CPR day. I do want to just mention that we have such a great relationship with the Levy County Public Safety Office and Levy County EMS. They have been so good to us since day one when I first took over this position. Obviously that relationship was already established before I got there, but they're just so great. And so they actually come in and they do a CPR day for everyone. Our juniors who are in our EMR class, as well as all of our seniors, our CNA students, are actually American Heart Association BLS, Basic Life Support, certified by the end of this. So when they go out, they will have their AHA card ready to rock and roll and present to a future employer. And they have the experience to back it up. But CPR training actually starts in 9th grade. We have our freshmen, and the class that you see here, this is actually our sophomores that are doing it. And I will say they were so great. I mean, like just from learning last year, they retained that. And even the people who were there, Mandy and I think it was Mark, they were very impressed of how much that they remembered from the CPR class last year. But they also get early training on HIPAA compliance and first aid. Slots for seniors. We went to Tri-County Nursing Home this year because that was one of our clinical sites this year. And we love our clinical sites. They let us come in and put up with us and teach us and give us great experiences. So we wanted to show them a little bit of love. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Socks for Seniors, but it's something that was actually started, I believe, by Kelly Beecham many, many years ago. Maybe it was even Alice Graham, because I think it was at least a decade ago that it was started. And basically, it's just providing warm and fuzzy socks for the residents of the local nursing homes, just as a way to say, we see you, someone loves you, and here's a present. Because a lot of these residents, they don't get presents for Christmas. A lot of them don't have family that comes and sees them even for the holidays. And so this is just a way for us to kind of give back and show them a little bit of love too. And then Levy County Public Safety again included us in their Pink for October, so they allowed us to participate in that kind of fundraiser and wear our pink shirts all October too. So that was pretty awesome that we were included in that. Next slide, please. Which brings me to our emergency medical responder program. So you heard me mention EMR class before. We've had a class for a while, but we haven't had a program where our students will actually become certified EMR, like certified in emergency medical responder, and actually have a program that encompasses that. So there's 4 things that you see there that's going to allow this to be successful. Our strong partnership with Levy County EMS. The students, when they are in right now the EMR class, but especially with the program, they actually go on ride-alongs with the ambulance. And a couple of these guys, or at least one of them, we're going to talk to you a little bit later about that. But it gives them a great hands-on, real experience, real life experience of this is what EMS and being on an ambulance is all about. Obviously, our community partnerships too, not only with Levy County. I actually talked to a Marion County EMS, I think it's actually Ocala EMS staff person. He's a paramedic, and I don't exactly know his title, so forgive me for that. But he was saying that they love to get students from us, from Chiefland, from Williston, from Levy County, because they require very, very minimal training. They already know. They know what to do. They know how to handle those emergencies. They know what to do on the ambulance. And so it's just great because it's not just our community, but the surrounding communities that benefit from our program. And the last thing there is we actually did get a grant. This grant that we applied for was only given out to 10 schools, right, in the whole state of Florida. And so Tanya is awesome. She sent it to me. What do you think? Yeah, let's go for it. We got together, kind of, punched through it, and so we got it. We're one of the 10 schools in the state of Florida who got this grant that's going to provide us about $10,000
A year.
for 2 years to actually develop our EMR program. So it's awesome. Next slide, please. Moving forward, what are we looking at? What are we looking forward to? Obviously, we're excited to promote the EMR program. We have this money that we're going to invest in it. Obviously, our time, hard work, and begin certifying our emergency medical responders. But it's not the only certification. We also want to add certified medical administrative assistant. So that's like when you go to the doctor's office and you sign in. They're the ones who sign you in, they answer the phone, they create the chart, that type of thing. And this just creates a very well-rounded, comprehensive entry-level healthcare professional by graduation that can literally go to any specialist office, any doctor's office, any area. They can go into emergency medicine, they can work in a hospital because they'll have their CNA, CMAA, EKG, and EMR by the time that they graduate. Next slide, please. So this is just some feedback. These are actually, the first two you see there, Sage Gregory and Zoe Pearson, are actually two of my students who graduated last year. And so I just kind of reached out to a few of them and said, hey, what would you say about the Health Academy? And so these are some things that they said. Sage actually decided not to go into the medical profession. She's actually a teacher's aide and she wants to become a teacher. But she said that even though she's not in healthcare, it helped her to get her job because she had her CNA and she was CPR certified, which obviously is necessary when you're working with children. Zoe also was one of mine that she did not think that she was going to be going in the healthcare profession, and still isn't necessarily going in that way. She actually just got her pilot license, I found out. But it's helped her succeed by giving her a job that pays more than minimum wage. So she has a good paying job. She can pick her hours, and her hours are flexible, and she wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for the program. So even though she's not going into medicine, it still benefited her. Phoebe is one of my sophomores, so she's an underclassman. So she has not had the clinical experiences yet, but she is in anatomy physiology. And so she said, I like having hands-on activities where we learn and understand about the body, but also the diseases and conditions associated with those systems. So they learn as soon as 10th grade, they start learning about diseases and conditions and how that affects the body. Next slide, please. And so these are the guys that I have here with me. And so Dorothy wants to go first. This is Dorothy, that you see up there. So they're going to actually talk a little bit about their experience in the Health Academy and what it means to them and kind of where it's brought them. Go ahead.
So the Health Academy gives students an advantage and opportunities we wouldn't otherwise get. And it gives us, before even going to the workplace, give us an idea of what it looks like and give us an advantage that most students don't have when you enter the workplace. So.
All right, Tori.
So the last thing I thought it was that the Health Academy helped me discover what I wanted to do and gave me the opportunity to live it. So I transferred to Chiefland in 2019 as a freshman, and I had no idea that I wanted to go to medicine. They gave me my schedule, told me, asked me what I wanted to do. It was an option, and I was like, you know, let's do it, see how it is. And through the Host Academy, it like led me to my career as emergency medicine, especially my junior year when we went on the ride-alongs. Like after my first ride-along, that was it. I knew I wanted to go be a paramedic and firefighter. So it like really led me to my career. And in the beginning, I wasn't so sure about the CNA thing, but once we started doing it and now I have it, it's given me a whole other plan to like start as CNA and move my way up through the ladder to get to paramedic and fire.
Okay, I said you have to have, well, okay, so like the question was, what do you think the Health Academy will build inside you? So I said you have to have driving determination to stay in the Health Academy, but the experiences, but because of all the experiences, it builds positive and a well-rounded character. And throughout my 4 years, I've honestly loved it. We've been through what, like 3 teachers now, and Ms. Murray, she's still here, so we're cracking up.
Does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to tell you guys how proud I am of you. And you are so, because guess what's waiting on you when you graduate? A job.
Yep.
And I work in the medical field and I work in nursing homes, and those homes, and the Seniors for Socks, you're absolutely right, I love that. But these homes will pay for your education, good jobs, whatever you want to do, paramedic, RN, DON, eventually of a nursing home if you're cut out for it. But I'm really excited. You guys are so ahead of the game. I still don't know what I want to do. And you know what you're going to do at 18, so
Absolutely.
proud of you.
How many of you have gone on the rides? Yeah, did you, is it during the school day? Is it 1 o'clock in the morning? What are they?
It's 8 to 8.
Yeah,
8 to 8?
They don't want the students there at nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah, for like
I know.
obvious legal reasons. But yeah, they can go during the school day, or they can go on the weekend whenever they kind of choose to and are able to. Not everybody, sometimes they're working during the weekend and
Right.
and that's necessary. So sometimes it is a school-related absence, but I mean, such a great learning opportunity,
Did
but
everyone
yeah.
love it? Everyone love it? The ride along? Yeah.
You got some heads shaking no back there.
Is that the ones that you learn, like, okay, emergency medicine is not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are definitely those that come back and are like, I did my 3 ride-alongs, I'm not doing it ever again. And then there's ones like Michael, who not only did his 3 ride-alongs, but how many did you do last year?
Total, I don't know how many days, but I got just a little over 70 hours of ride time.
Wow.
But that was addition to your 3 that
Yep.
you were required, right? So that he went above and beyond that.
Good for you.
And so Michael's actually going to be, whenever he graduates graduates this year, either a week before or a week after, he'll actually be graduating because he's still enrolling right now in EMT school. He'll be an EMT.
Wow.
Excellent.
Last but not least, I do have one little thing to just mention. We are looking for business partnerships. The business partnerships are not necessarily like funding motivated. We need mentors in the community. We need community partners that, hey, we're hiring your, graduates, whether it be a nursing home or a medical office or wherever within the community. We're just reaching out. We have to have community partnerships for that feedback, but we want to actually be involved in our community and have our community be involved with us. Like, we want that feedback. Because you can't grow. If you don't know, you can't grow. So if we don't know that there's things that employers are expecting or that colleges are expecting from our students, we can't make it better. And that's our goal, is to be the best that we can be. So I do have, I only have 4, but I do have some community or business partnerships like packets. If anybody would like one, either to give to somebody that you might know, that like, hey, I know somebody who owns a business who would be interested, or runs a business, or whatever the case may be. But we're definitely looking for community partnerships. And if I run out of these, I can always email you one. So I'd be happy to get that to you. You can either email me to request it, or get with Tanya, obviously, as well. So, and that's our presentation. Does anybody else have any questions or?
I'd love one of those packets,
Yeah, absolutely.
emailed, or email's fine.
I want
If
one too.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.
Very proud of all of
That's
you.
4, I can email them out.
Good job.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown.
Class to get back to, so line up and press that down. I'm gonna go with that.
Good you win.
Yeah, act like you love each other. It's like weird. All right, ready? Got it. Thank you. Thank you guys again.
Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for having us. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.
Good morning. It's always hard to follow this presentation. There's a lot to live up to. I wish I had that when I was in school. But anyway. So we are going to go over the calendar. I can't believe we're already talking about the 23-24 school year calendar, but we are here. So we have a calendar committee. Catherine Davis from Williston High School has led that for about 20 years. She's phenomenal. She apologizes for not being able to be here this morning, but she had other commitments. So she does a wonderful job of getting us together, getting us on track, and coming up with our calendar. So we had 2 draft calendars. Included in your packet was things to remember when we're coming up with a calendar. It's very difficult with holidays, testing, survey, and all that to come up with something, and to honor our staff wishes for time off. So we presented A and B to the staff. They voted, and their winning vote was calendar B by about, I know. That will help some ag teachers, we believe. And we also believe having spring break kind of in the April area will give them a little bit of break before coming back for that final push of testing. So the votes for calendar A was 228 and calendar B was 274. So do you have any questions regarding the calendar, concerns?
My kids are glad it's not during spring
I know.
break. It's a win-win for us.
It does make Christmas break a little shorter, but that was the offset.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I like calendar B.
Okay.
I think it's smart to have spring break a little later, and I also think it's smart in our area to put heavy consideration into Swanee River Fair Days, and I think calendar B does that.
I don't think we have the definite dates for Swanee River Fair, but we're going based upon what has happened the last couple of years. So we feel pretty good, so unless something crazy comes
Yeah,
up.
it won't be April, I guarantee you.
Okay. So anyway, I would just need board approval before we go further.
Okay.
I move approval of calendar B.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? Having none, all in favor for calendar B, say aye.
Aye.
Any unopposed, same sign. Calendar B passes.
Thank you. All right, our next presentation, I'm going to bring up Tamika Singleton. She's from Grand Canyon University. As you know, the teacher shortage is real and has been for many years, and we need to grow our own. That's been a desire of the board and the superintendent. So we were approached by Grand Canyon. They actually are working with a lot of NEFAC districts on a pair program. They also offer a lot of master's degree programs, giving discounts to our staff. I was just so impressed with their presentation that they gave Mandy and I about all the things that they can offer our staff and make it easy. There's not a lot of waiting time to get into a program, and so I would let her talk to you about what Grand Canyon has to offer.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
My name is Tamika Singleton, and I am here with Grand Canyon University. I want to thank Ms. Wade for the invitation to come and present what we do have to offer for all staff in Levy and surrounding counties. We do have a true grow your own. We do offer online classes. I do work with all the non-traditional students, those working parents who are working and kind of want to pursue their education. But we also have a ground campus in West Phoenix, Arizona. We have over 100,000 students online and close to 30,000 students at our ground campus. Some of the things that we do offer is our bachelor's, master's, specialist, and doctoral programs. A true grow your own is our dual enrollment students. We have a dual enrollment program for our 10th grade students going to, become a senior, where we can offer intro courses for $52.50. The true grow your own is allowing those students to take dual enrollment classes, graduate with an associate's degree, come and work within their community as a paraprofessional support staff while they're working on their bachelor's degree and get hired on as a certified teacher. So we do have dual enrollment programs as well. We also offer employment services where we're able to post jobs to our GCU board and allow individuals who are looking to relocate and maybe come to Levy County and work as a teacher or what have you, whatever positions are available. We also offer online cohort. Cohort is one of my favorites. I do work closely with Marion County, so I was able to enroll 50 individuals from their district to start and pursue their education. So the thing about cohorts is if I can get 10 individuals from a district, whether it's the same program or 10 individuals who are looking to do something, whether it's a support staff, transportation, what have you, we can offer a great amount of scholarship funding, which is 25%. Anyone who's looking to do a bachelor's is 15%, master's in education is 18%, specialists or higher is 10%. My goal is cohorts because you get more bang for your buck. So who doesn't want to do a cohort, being able to go into the trenches with your colleagues, graduate together, collaborate, etc. Professional development services, we do offer PD sessions. We're able to customize your PD session for what you need for your staff, whether it's classroom management, or we can provide PD sessions. We have close to 200 PD sessions, and we're able to fly someone out to do those sessions for you, as long as we have like 50 or more participants in that PD session as well. We have something that's called Meet GCU, where we're able to fly at least 2 staff from maybe HR, superintendent, supports professional development. We fly you out to Arizona. It's all expense paid. You get to hear from the president of the school. You get to hear from other counties or districts around the country, and you get to collaborate together. It's a 2-day experience, but it's a great trip too as well. I was just come from Arizona over the weekend, where I took 5 students, teachers from Marion County. It was a great experience on campus and off campus, because we had 2 that have never flown before. But they had great things to say about it. They had great things to share with their principal, their colleagues, and I have lots of referrals from that trip. So that's also a great experience. We have test prep. We're offering test prep, whether it's healthcare, reading, math text prep. We do it monthly, and it's absolutely free. We provide the link to any individuals that looking to do test prep for maybe GK, or looking to do test prep for maybe a subject area test. We do provide those links for those individuals as well. Live lessons. This is something new that we offer. So if you have a teacher who may be out for a few days and you can't seem to get a sub to come in and cover that course, as long as we have a facilitator in that classroom, we can provide live lessons for the students from someone that works with Grand Canyon University. So we do offer live lessons. And then we have something that's called Destination GCU, which I just covered, where we do fly potential students who are interested, and it's all paid expense as well. So those are some of the things that we do offer. I have been able to get into the schools already. I am due to visit Williston Middle and High School tomorrow, and Williston Elementary as well. But I've been able to get into the schools. I've been getting lots of feedback from individuals who are looking to pursue their education, and working on getting them started. We have classes that do start weekly. We have masters that do start monthly, so forth. So you don't have to wait for spring, summer, and fall. We have classes that start sooner than later. But thank you so much for your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
How much lead time do you need for those live sessions? Like how much would the school
With the
need
school,
for
we
lead
need,
time?
normally it's about 2 weeks, if 3. Now, if you have someone that's going to be out for like a leave of absence, we do have someone that will actually come in and teach live. But if you have someone that's going to be out for a few days, we can do a live lesson on Zoom, but at least enough time to get someone prepared to come out and teach the class.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question.
Yes,
So you're dual enrolled high school students that
Yes.
want to be teachers. It's all online.
everything's online.
And then your practicum would be being a pair, like your live experience. You're
Yes.
required to be a para for a certain.
So let's talk about that. So our classes are online. All of our classes are 1 class at a time, 1 assignment a week. So if you have someone who's maybe interested in becoming a teacher, we offer those intro courses, 5250. As far as student teaching, as long as you're within the school policy, Grand Canyon won't say, okay, you gotta go to a different school to student teach. If they want to become a pre-K through 3rd grade early childhood education degree program, as long as they're doing their student teaching within that school, then it's doable. We can't just send you to a high school and then you're out of policy. But we're very flexible when it comes to the student teaching placement.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So there's this little agreement the board will sign. It's no cost to the board, it's just a partnership with them so that then we can get these services to our staff members.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you need a motion from us to
Motion.
approve that?
No.
No? Just go ahead.
Thank you very much for the information, Mrs. Wade. If I could just back up for one moment and ask if there are any public comments, because I don't want to miss that on the agenda, and we moved right into the presentation with Ms. Myrick. So, no public comments to be heard. We will move on to number 8, and that is Mr. Lott with our school board policy.
Miss Julia's going to go first.
Oh, Miss Julia?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
They are in the lobby,
Okay.
waiting to, hot and ready.
Oh, really? All right.
That's for all of you. There are chicken biscuits waiting outside the door.
Can we trust those people out there?
Well, those kids just went through, so
Oh,
there might not be many left. I am here today to request approval to post removing out of the policies for us to contact a management company for food service. Reason being, I guess all of you want another reason. Y'all look at me like, what's the reason? Currently, we are under an emergency contract for purchasing food. That went into effect after U.S. Foods dropped us a year ago. We were still under contract with the Power Buying Group under the Osceola County bid to purchase goods at a certain price. So they took us and we went with Cisco. When they went out to bid, Cisco was the only one that responded under an emergency contract. So that's who we have right now. We were going to try, the Power Buying Group was going to try to do an emergency contract again this coming for 23-24. And the Florida Department of Agriculture shut it down based on USDA standards saying that we are not, in the US, we are no longer under emergency protocol as we were with COVID. So they're not allowing us to go under an emergency contract, which means that the Power Buying Group has to go out to bid again to get a distributor for food. Currently, U.S. Foods, Cisco, and Gordon are the people that provide schools with provide food to the schools. U.S. Foods does not want us back, so that's out. Gordon is very limited, although I am trying to get with them now. Gordon's limited, and then, like I said, it would be Cisco. If Cisco, after this year of dealing with us and us dealing with them, it hasn't been great, but we are getting by. If they decide not to take the bid or go for the bid, then we are stuck with nobody to do the food purchase, to give us food. So what we're looking at is the possibility of going with a management company who have contracts throughout the U.S., not just within Florida, but they have contracts throughout the U.S. that would be able to bring food. That does go without saying they would also take over with our employees also. They just don't provide food, they actually take over the day-to-day operations of food service. So my goal is to help and find food. We cannot have food service without food, so we just want to make sure that we're covered with all possibilities. It's not saying that we will go with a management company. That is going to be up to you to decide when it comes to that point, but we just want to have the opportunity to look at other companies that will service our children here in Levy County.
When the management company, if we go with a management company, how far is their outreach? I mean, would they have to look at Cisco, or they're going to bypass the 3 that you just mentioned?
They already have somebody on their contract to get food from.
So to speak a little bit about this, so obviously this is for permission to advertise the policy, so which then it would give us opportunities. This is just another arrow in the, so to speak, to be able to cover the bases. So with that, so when you have management companies, so they may have Cisco, but because they are nationwide, they have dedicated product that is specifically for them in their warehouses, where we've had instances where we've ordered things, so Miss Julia's ordered things, and we've been skipped, but a company who has a management company is going to get that. So there may be 10 cases in the warehouse whenever she places an order, and they may say those 10 are going to a management company, and so Levy County gets 0. So this is just preparing if we have an issue where, so we don't have food, which would be really bad to not have food to serve to our students.
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
And then-
we got to feed the kids.
With the personnel, do they do anything with our personnel?
We're not to that point, so if it ever went to that point, so they would take whatever personnel that we have. So there's a whole procedure for there, and we're definitely not anywhere near
Not that
that point.
desperate.
We're not to that point yet, so.
But if for some reason US Food, Cisco, we can't do anything with them, we do have this.
So, for instance, Jackson County is under a management company. So, and I use Jackson because they're a small rural like us. So, the company they're with, so they set a threshold. We'll say anybody that is 5 years or less, they offer them the opportunity to become an employee of the management company. And that usually involves them providing some type of stipend or bonus for them to become their employee. So, and this would be a part of their benefits package and things like that. As people who are, whatever the time frame may be, because it varies. Some it's 5 years or less, some it's 10, it just depends from district to district. As people retire or would leave, then the management company would hire people to be their employee. So every student in Levy County has free meal. So what happens with that is Miss Julia reports how many meals, and then we get reimbursed. So it's a per cost basis, so for breakfast and lunch. That's the procedure that we're going through. So, and I will have to say, Miss Julia has done an excellent job of reaching out. We were able to get some food from the Florida Department of Agriculture so recently, and with us adding on some cooler space, and we also have the warehouse that's coming in that will be able to handle some dry goods. So we're doing everything in our power to ensure, so Miss Julie is, so, and her staff.
Currently, just for your knowledge, there's 27 people in the 27 districts in the Power Buying Group. There's 13 in the North Florida Power Buying Group. There are 20 that have their own individual bids, and there are 7 districts in the state of Florida that are under a management company.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Just thinking, isn't the food companies that we use now, aren't they under a contract where they can't say you can't have food? I mean, aren't they obligated? I'm just
It's done year by year.
Year by year.
year by
So as of this school year
ends.
which is right,
They're
like
done.
right now, we have almost 1,400 cases of food coming next week, which I've pulled in from the USDA and from the Florida Department of Ag. It's going to go in our freezer and over there, but that's going to be hopefully to provide us for summer. So I'm already trying, because our bid closes on June 30th.
Right.
So I'm trying to procure and secure enough food to get us through the summer as these bids are going into place. The counties that I just talked about, many of them are also out to bid looking for companies to support them. And so we're all out there together right now asking. Some of the problem that we had last year is that there's not enough trucks or truck drivers. Trucks are down. Mr. Masters can attest to this. The trucks are down because they can't get parts. There's a shortage of drivers with CDL license. There is the food issue. There's some shortages on food, but there's still food available. It's just getting it here to us. And companies for schools, because we buy in such a massive amount, it's hard for them to get to everybody. So if one company was to take it, Cisco's doing well, Gordon's doing well, but the more that they take on, they've got to have those trucks and those drivers to get it to us. So it is an annual thing that is done. It's not a guarantee that we can have
During that year, okay.
Correct. During the year we are.
Right,
Under contract they have to.
right, okay, that's what I was.
Yes, so we're good until June 30th, we're good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move approval to advertise. Paul, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm assuming that, I mean, the government, as food prices have gone up, have we gotten more money for a kid for these people to bid? You know, because like I say, I mean, if you're locked into a contract, say pre-COVID, it costs $2 to feed a kid.
Correct.
Now
So
it costs-
currently, that's a great question, but currently our bid with Cisco is actually on a 30-day basis. So our prices do fluctuate every 30 days.
Okay.
Many of the counties, I've checked, many of the counties that are out there are doing the same thing this year. It's either a 30 or a 60. Prior to COVID, it was an annual. This is what you had to give us if the prices went up or down.
Yeah.
But because of the fluctuation between fuel, food cost, labor, we all this year have gone to a 30 or 60 day.
Probably that's only how I could probably get a bid, because I know as a
Correct.
contractor, you're not gonna lock in for a year with all the
Exactly.
fluctuations out there.
Correct.
It kind of protects them a little bit.
Second.
Mr. Delaney?
For the management company, would that contract just involve personnel or also equipment?
It depends
We'll
on how
flesh
they write
all
the
that out, so
contract.
Okay.
once we get, if we have to go down that road, so that will be all fleshed out, so. This just gives us the opportunity that we don't have kids sitting at a school table without food, so that's the purpose, so, but yes, sir. It would involve, if we went that route, it would involve a request for proposal, so there's a whole time frame of things that would come before the board.
And with other districts, it's all, you can go back and forth and negotiate how you want that contract to be.
The reason that I ask is when districts have looked at doing something similar for their transportation department, it is very hard to reconstitute a transportation department after you've sold off all your buses and you've been on that contract for 5 years, and then if you're not happy with it, it's hard to start from ground zero. And I think that would be to a smaller degree with our food service, but it's still something that the board should be mindful of.
Thank you, Mr. Delaney. Any other questions? Okay. If I'll hear a motion that we give approval to advertise the food and nutrition services program policy as it appears right now, to advertise. Okay. You're fast. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes to advertise.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Julian.
Good morning.
Mr. Locke.
A few weeks ago, it was brought to our attention by the board that there could be a potential issue with board policy 6.06, and I did not work on this policy, so I will apologize. It's really not correct in what you have in front of you. The original language and the sticking point was that the original policy, or the current policy as it stands now, says at the end of it says such experience must be verified within 120 days of initial employment. And when you're relying on others to give you that verification, sometimes there are things that are out of our control, whether it be DOE or another school district or sometimes out-of-state school districts and so forth. And so that limitation was potentially hurting some of our employees in getting verification. So it was brought to our attention by the board, and so there was a discussion about what we could do in regard to that policy. And so the way it should read is that language should be stricken, putting that limitation, the 120-day limit on it, and then the language that you have in front of you that is in blue should be not struck through, but should be additional language that's added to the current policy. And I probably confused you, and I apologize. I literally didn't know I was even doing this until I looked at the policy, and I said, okay, I can do that. Then I looked at it, and it was wrong. So I apologize for that oversight on my part. But so if everyone's clear, we're striking the 120 days. We are adding the blue language as new language. And we will get that obviously corrected. All we're asking today is permission to advertise the new policy. It will come before you again. We'll make sure it's correct, I guarantee you, and before you approve it.
Thank you.
I make a motion to advertise.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes to advertise. We will go to approval of the February 14th minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review those? Have there been any changes, Mrs. Madam Chair? Okay.
Move approval.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion about the minutes? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes for approval of the minutes. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Are there any questions that you have, Mr. Asbell, on the consent agenda?
No, ma'am, it's fairly straightforward, and any questions I have have already been answered.
Mrs. Clemency?
All my questions were answered.
Mr. Whitehurst?
All my questions have been answered.
All my questions were answered as well. And I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as it appears.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second?
Second.
All those
I
in...
lost my mind.
That's okay. Make me feel like I did something wrong. All those in...
I left the building. Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm back.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes the consent agenda as is. And we have to look at item 11, which is the finance on the consent agenda. Any questions on the finance? Do I have a motion to accept the finance, number 11?
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Finance section of the consent passes. And we will move to 12. Mr. Superintendent, your comments.
Madam Chair, so appreciate you, board, so approving the CTE resolution as we finish up CTE month. So I just want to shout out kudos to all of our CTE. So we've highlighted Bronson Middle High School's Mr. Wilson, and then today was Chiefland Middle High School, Ms. Myrick, and we know our ag teachers who do a phenomenal job. So and just everybody across the board. So don't want to leave anybody out. And so I know if I go to start calling out names, for sure I'll leave somebody out that's CTE, but we know what that provides for our students. So appreciate Ms. Taylor. So I think she's in the back of the room there still. So there she is, of what she's jumped in since October, and the direction that she's helping provide and the resources that she is for our teachers. So appreciate that. Just want to commend. So thank you to Breezy. Thank you to our maintenance guys getting everything ready for the Beast Feast. So and in the last 2 weeks, I've had the opportunity to be at Chiefland Middle High School's FFA Chili Cook-Off and Cake Auction, Bronson Food Fest. So FFA alumni, and then Beast Feast. So and I'm just thankful. So thankful for our maintenance guys. Thankful that they like cakes, because they participated and bought a cake at every one of them, I believe. So and just really appreciate them. So and kudos to all the foundation members. I think the Beast Feast was an absolute wonderful success. If you missed it, you missed good food, you missed great fellowship. We hope you come next year. I think I know the dollar figure was coming up, so but I don't have it right there at the top of my hand. So, but I know that it was an extremely successful. So, barring one minor thing at the tail end. So, but need to just make sure that Mr. Whitehurst's son gets some hazard pay. So, so unfortunately, so he took a tumble and broke his elbow, and they had a late night. So, but appreciate all of you. Appreciate the serving chowder to people. So, and those that delivered, and thank you for allowing us to showcase our students. I think today we got a lot of great things, and I know a lot of times, especially how we started our meeting, but you see that those are not the overarching theme of what's going on in our schools. That the overarching theme is you have people, hardworking people, so that are in there that care about it, longtime people that care about our kids. So just appreciate that. So and with that, so I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Mr. Asbell, would you like to go first on your board comments?
Not really, but I will. As Chris alluded to, we've had a lot of excitement. I will start off by saying I have been to multiple Beast Feasts for the school foundation. This, in my opinion, was the best one I've ever been to. My reason for saying that is a kind of crazy reason. As usually when we're there, we're serving, we're doing that thing. And so by the time we get around to actually eating, everything is gone. But this year, whoever planned all these things, there was plenty. And everything was outstanding, everything was fantastic. And people really seemed to enjoy it. I think whoever was the mastermind behind swapping those times, I'm gonna give credit to Annie Whitehurst because she was smart enough to marry Devin, and she's from Bronson, so I'm gonna give her credit. Having the Beast Feast in February and the Gala in October works much better than it did when it was opposite, as far as I'm concerned. And it was a good time. I was happy to be there with y'all, and I'm proud that, as I told everyone that went there, I cut up all those potatoes and clams and made that clam chowder. And y'all know that's true, and y'all carry that to the grave with y'all. Bronson FFA Alumni's Food Fest was a resounding hit. We were able to resell the Bronson FFA quilt. It's made of FFA jackets. We sold it. The primary buyer on that was Congresswoman Kat Cammack. It is going back to Washington, D.C., where it has been displayed for 4 years. It will go back up there to the congressional offices, and she'll display it there. She got all the attention for it, but it would be wrong to not give attention to the other people that contributed on that purchase. Those people were John Meeks, David Byrd, Desiree Mills, Charlie Kennedy, Chris Cowart, and myself, along with David Allen Aluminum, and Charlie and Lynn Bedford. So we all combined kind of matched what the Congresswoman bid, and we had a good time doing it. And we appreciate that. They made a tremendous amount of money, and I want to thank everybody that had anything to do with that process. It was wonderful. So all the good things. Let's move to something that, you guys got to have a little good and a little bad. I get, as all school board members do, you get calls about stuff. And I said I would ask about this because I will tell you, I was told I voted for this, and that people were directed to contact their school board members, although this person is not a Bronson person, but I said, well, I'll bring it up. Because I don't remember voting on it, but they were told that we voted to approve. So I want a little bit more information on GoFan and why the big push for GoFan. And I asked that, and I'll go ahead and be flat out. I'm old, and I like the old ways. I like having the ability to have this option, but I do not like a cut and dry, this is your only option. But I also don't like people being told, well, the school board voted on that, and as a school board member who has a weak brain, who is the least intelligent of all of these folks up here, and missed a meeting, it might have been a meeting I missed, being told I voted to approve such a thing, as that was told to this person by the school, I'm saying, well, I don't remember voting on that, but that could be my dereliction of duty. So, did we vote to approve that as a board?
So
what's the story?
So the reason for GoFan, so Mr. Asbell, part of the reason was for some auditing purposes to make sure that we had a true accounting, so of how many tickets we were selling and that. The other piece of that was safety and security for our people that were gate workers. We have had games in the past where we have an individual who is walking out with $10,000 cash into a dark parking lot, and out of concern for their safety and to move a little bit into the 21st century, so we have that process to take GoFan. So that was the reason for the GoFan. So if you look at districts close around us, touching us, do we still accept cash? We still accept cash. So no one has ever been turned away that has come to a ticket and wanted to come into a game. So
I can tell you about 10 people that were turned away at a game.
So
they told us no cash. It's got to be a GoFan. I have other people that have done the GoFan have no problem with it. But they get there and either they can't connect, they can't pull it up. And then a fine example was another family who buys 7 tickets, you have the service charges, all that, as hard as times are, they've gotten into $60 to go to a high school game when all they want to do is support their town. I like the idea of it. I like the idea of, I'm very much for, hey, we got GoFan, but hey, if you don't have it, come to the gate. I get all that. But that's the first half of the question. The second half is, I have a school saying, didn't say the county office decided that, it said you school board members voted on that. I do not recall voting on that. So did we vote on that? So somebody needs to call back and say, hey, don't be saying they did something they didn't do. And this is just a surface thing. I'm sure y'all get it too. There's many a time I voted on something. It ain't none. I've been told I voted on a math class. We don't vote on that. We vote on money and we vote on policies. I have no problem telling you, no, you cannot wear a Speedo to school because I voted on that. I did not vote that all we can do is show up with this phone. I will gladly give you the school. I'm not making public. I'll gladly sit here and tell you, this school is telling people this. This school turned folks away because they showed up. A grandma who does not have a smartphone, has a good old-fashioned Cricket flip-it phone or Jigabug or whatever. What was it? Jitterbug? Has one of those. Does not have the capability to do that. But she got $10 in her pockets because she wants to see her baby play basketball. And she was told, no. I don't want to be the guy that goes, Grandma, you can't see your kid because you can't do technology. I want to be the guy that goes, yeah, we prefer you to do this, but if you got cash, there you go. I also have no problem with, we have SROs at every game. I got $10,000 on it. That dude's carrying a gun. He can walk me to my car. He can walk me to whatever safe, whatever I need to do. If I'm not comfortable with that dude there walking me to my car, I don't need to be taking the money. So that, and I'm not fussing with you. I'm pointing out that don't call over here telling people, don't tell people no, you can't come in when the superintendent said, yeah, we don't limit that. Don't tell people that something completely different. Don't tell people we voted on something that we did not vote on. Those are the issues I have. I have no problem with GoFan. I like having GoFan and cash. That's all I have on that. Not wanting to stir nothing, but wanting to point out, this is what I heard. We'll talk later in private because I'm not going to sell anybody out. But we gotta have a uniform thing. Because I did just what you said. In Bronson, I know we take GoFan and we take cash. Another school said GoFan only or you can't come. So we need to be, whatever we do in this town, we need to do in all them other towns. That's all I have to say. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Asbell.
I'll piggyback on that a little bit. I agree with you on all of that. And also the service, personally speaking, the service charge on GoFan when you're hitting 3 games a week with multiple kids, that does add up too. So I'm all for, I see both sides. My husband was president of football last year, football season, and there's the beauty of having an accounting and having a set number of who enters the gate. But I think we do need to all be on the same page because there have been communications sent out, no cash is accepted. It's only GoFund. So I think that all the gatekeepers, at the very least, we need to all be on the same page. And I'm for a cash option too. And my notes are all over the place. But I wanted to start out giving a shout out to Yankeetown FFA because we had a busy week down there, complete with the Kiss the Pig contest, only in Yankeetown. And I want to give a shout out to, not to steal Williston, but the boys are going to the basketball Final Four this week, which is a huge deal for any school in our county. So I'm very proud of those boys. And shout out to Ms. Taylor with what you're doing with the CTE. It's just so exciting to see the group that we had tonight and then the presentation last week. And when Ms. Julia got up, I'm like, gosh, I wish we could somehow add in a CDL program to get drivers, like something where we can get a CDL. That's who we are in the county. We're a vocation. Are you?
On the radar.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, just to get, not everyone is college bound. The majority of our kids are not college bound. So I love, these programs are so exciting to open the world up to our kids. But good job.
And to give you a heads up, at Cedar Key, Rachel Weatherington has kids who get forklift certified, and they are now going to move into getting their CDL. So she's
That's
kind of
awesome.
launched the idea of
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I wanted to say, keep Regina Harris in your prayers because her little boy is very, very sick. I don't even know the update on it, but very sick. So if we could all keep Miss Harris, she's an ag teacher over in Williston, in our prayers. Lastly, I want to say sometimes I get caught up in the moment and get laser focused on something and ask questions without saying thank you to everyone in the district office for everything that you guys do and our teachers. The behaviors that they're dealing with, the teacher shortage, the data crunching, the everything after COVID. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone in this room and thank you to all of our teachers because you're very appreciated. I called Ms. Lewis after the last meeting and said, I didn't even say thank you for all of the data information you gave us because I get so in the moment, but I'm super proud to work with everyone in Levy County. All of you do a great job. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Whitehurst.
I'll start with the GoFan. I'll just have a little bit, like I say, I know from having helped my elderly relatives or, you know, have technology challenge to go on GoFan. If we could, you know, have an option for that, that would certainly, a cash option, you know, I understand the reason behind it, but it would help to a point. Actually being from Williston, obviously stole some of my Williston thunder and stuff. But, the basketball team, like they go on Final Four. It was great to see the hosts from Chiefland here. I know last year my niece was in it, graduated, and I got to go to the banquet. So it was nice to get some exposure to that and see, not necessarily, you saw that even the people in the program not necessarily even going to nursing, but just to give them the experience to either get better jobs, not minimum wage jobs, and, you know, and like I said, all the CTE stuff, like I said, the CDL program, the forklift, maybe some other heavy equipment stuff from someone who hires heavy equipment, CDL drivers, that'd be a great thing. And I'm certainly excited about that. The Grand Canyon University, I always feel that, you know, promote within, you know, if it gives people the opportunity to get an education of people that's currently employed, you don't have people that's going to stick with you more than people you're hiring in. I always feel like, you know, hire, promote within. I know we do that a lot in this district, unfortunately. You know, from a school standpoint, sometimes some of the better ones go to district office and it hurts, but I understand the reasoning behind it. I think it's a good thing. I mean, we certainly want people to not get stagnant. We want them to give opportunities to excel and do better. So I'm glad to see that. And like I said, our prayers for Ms. Harris. I don't have an update. I know she supposedly last week, it was just going to be that week and her son was going to come home, but I know she's out this week too. So I know it's some more issues going on. So prayers to her family and just thank y'all for all y'all do. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Whitehurst. I'll just, of course, echo the GoFan and the cash. I think both should be allowed and it should be uniform across the district. So that would be my input on there. Thank you very much for everything that you do. The presentations were great. That I will say that personally, that HOSA program, there's a graduate that graduated in 2020 with my son, and she is working at Walmart, but I do know that now she is enrolling to continue and be EMS all the way, and she started in that HOSA program. So we got her signed up at Central Florida, and she's excited. So you can see it working in our district, those programs, and how valuable they are. And I have that 2020 graduate who college, not his thing. And you know, he's proven mom wrong, so maybe he shouldn't watch this meeting. Use that against me. Grand Canyon, that sounds like there's a lot of different options that are coming up, and especially the live sessions. Miss Julia, I don't envy you right now, but thank you for everything that you're doing, because that's being in the food industry way back long ago, that's hard. to get those shipments in. So appreciate that. I know coming up, the DECA students, the middle school and the high school are heading to Orlando, so that's Wednesday and Thursday. They should have fun there, and wish them the best in the competitions. And sorry I missed the Beast Feast. I was able to deliver the clam chowder, but I didn't pick it up from your house.
That's because I had Paige hold on to it. She has a bigger pot. I had to cut it all the cheap ones at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Where Paige finished it off.
I did get help, but my brother lifted it when we carried it. I said, so how heavy was that anyway? He said, honestly, that felt like it was about 60 pounds when he,
Imagine having to cut up all those potatoes and those clams like I had to.
But I had to decide between the 21st birthday and the Beast Feast, so you only had one that turned 21.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's why I wasn't there, but I hated to miss it and serving the clam chowder. And that's all I have.
Okay.
That's it. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your patience with me filling in.